bombs, 3 churches, 4 hotels, around 253 dead, several hundred more injured. A series of attacks took place in Sri Lanka on Easter Sunday morning. But what we want to talk about today is the lasting impact in the Sri Lankan communities and how we can raise awareness to prevent such issues from ever happening again. Is there a witch hunt against Muslims in Sri Lanka? Is fake news becoming pervasive? Welcome to our first podcast where we will be discussing just this. My name is Alexis and I'm with
Miriam,
Arthur,
and Stefan.
We aim to interview 4 friends of mine in Sri Lanka. It was difficult due to the social media ban, so only one of them was able to give their testimony in time. Her name is Avindi and she is a student in Kandy, the center of the country. She told me how the attacks deeply shocked her and how the country is in turmoil.
The attacks were committed by 9 suicide bombers belonging to the national Thowheed Jamath, a little-known Islamist organization. They are believed to be behind the attacks, but it seems they may have had help from other international organizations. ISIS claims responsibility for the attacks, but there is no evidence they were involved. The aftermath of the attack left Sri Lanka in turmoil, and the government responded in a state of emergency, enabling authorities to arrest people without a warrant in order to investigate and find the perpetrators.
On social media, fake news is widespread and some false alarms for explosion were made. People have been posting hostile messages against Muslims and other minorities, and the tensions are high. To prevent the spread of misinformation, the government banned social media platforms in the country for a period of time. Many people have been using VPNs in order to continue access to social media.
The messages I sent to Avindi on WhatsApp weren't received by her during the social media ban. All the same, she sees the utility of that measure since she considers it effective to avoid the spread of hatred and fake news. She also was subjected to a 2-day curfew. About the government's possibility to arrest without warrants, she said, even though it is effective to avoid another terrorist attack, arresting people without a warrant often isn't suitable. But due to the evidence in some cases, I think it is the best option possible for the safety.
Following the attacks, many people have responded with anger. Primarily South Asian Muslim immigrants and some Christians were threatened and assaulted by crowds of angry people. Police stations, mosques, and other locations were packed with refugees and asylum seekers, and some were overcrowded. Thousands were forced out of their homes, and their landlords were pressured into evicting the refugees.
Avinda has not heard of those incidents reported by Human Rights Watch. She talked about incidents where people try to force Muslims not to cover themselves. She said, I think common people can't force these people to prevent wearing niqabas and burqas. Such incidents were recorded recently, but there should be a law defecting to avoid wearing this. The government reacted with this law prohibiting to cover one's face, which was commonly understood as a ban for niqabas and burqas.
Wow, that's very enlightening. 99% of suspects have been found. In what way do those in Sri Lanka want help to recover?
Avindi told me that for her, it was most important to prevent terrorism and extremism, not only in Sri Lanka. She also mentioned the losses of local businesses. Sri Lankans should proceed to their economic transactions normally. However, an important part of Sri Lanka's economy is tourism, which drastically declined after the attacks. In some countries, such as Switzerland, the governmental travel recommendations were changed, causing major travel agencies to cancel all trips to the country. As soon as the region is stable and safe again, it is important for tourists to come back.
Thank you, Miriam, Arthur, and Stephen. This has been incredibly compelling and insightful. Please visit our description box below to see several other ways you can help the current situation in Sri Lanka. From the Red Cross to vetted GoFundMes, you can also have an impact.